it seems to me that the Coptic Orthodox heritage is bound up with the rise of Christianity in Egypt. Okay, when we say Coptic, we mean Egyptian.
Yeah.
So, the Egyptian history, the history of the presence of the Romans, of the Greeks, of the Islamic power, and we have a history. So we have to look at the relation of the Coptic Orthodox Christians to all of the stages of Egyptian history, to the inheritance of the pharaonic past, the demotic phase of the language which produced the Coptic with the Greek alphabet. So there are so many things which feed into the spiritual life of the Coptic Church from the wide historical net, and you're catching these things. So I think that you are saying how to preserve it. Well, what I'm thinking that is it the responsibility of the hierarchy to ensure that experts are employed to work with each person's specialty. So we need people who know music, we need people who know history, we need people who know theology to work with the large Coptic heritage. So not all the monks can, if you take some of the monks who are trained in this area, okay, but the responsibility of the monks, it seems to me, is to preserve the part of the heritage which fits them like a glove. The monastery, as we are talking about the monasteries themselves, the prayer, the way of prayer, the way of behavior. For example, how did the Copts get the idea of humility? This is such a monastic virtue.
Yes.
So when you are talking about spirituality and you are talking about heritage, it's connected.
Connected together, yes. Which means in the monasteries, this should be the work of the monks, because they are different, and they are different in talents. Okay, it should be groups of monks taking care of the language, of the ritual things, of the songs, of the music, of the early fathers, of the spirituality, of the tradition, of the monk's life. I mean, we should find in the monastery all the heritage of the Coptic Church. How I can come to the monastery and then the monks, they don't know Coptic language for them. How I can come to the monastery and the monks, they don't know the songs and the hymns. How I can come to a monastery and they have no idea about the early fathers, and they have no idea about monasticism, monk's life. No, we should see all this heritage, preserve it well. Why? Because the monks, they have time. The monks, they have place. The monks, they have a target. They have a special life. Okay, I can give an excuse for the church in the city or in the village, that they don't preserve the heritage, because there is no special people, there is no a certain institution to preserve the heritage. But in the monasteries, this is a very strong institution. They should preserve it.
I agree.
Because if we lose it from the monasteries, there is no other place to preserve
To catch it, yeah.
There is no other people to take care of the heritage. And without heritage, we are so poor. Really, we are so poor. I mean, if we look to for example, the heritage of the early fathers, this is feed us now. If we don't have a past of early fathers, how we can live now as the monks?
And you know, we have a saying in English that you don't need to reinvent the wheel. We know what a wheel is. So every time you want to make a cart, you want to make something to move, you don't need to think about how to make a wheel. You know what a wheel is, you have it. You received it from your father, and
You have the will.
you don't have to reinvent it every time you want to make a cart. We don't need to reinvent the whole church. We have it. We have to keep, because we haven't time to reinvent everything every generation. So God gives us tradition so that we can have time, by living in the tradition, to move with it, to grow inside it, to flower. If you have to spend all your time, if every generation has to redo everything, when it will develop, when it will flower, how it will blossom.
It's done already.
We have it.
Yes, we have it. It's done.
We must grow from within it, from inside it. Huh?
And you can see how much the early fathers and the martyrs, they suffered to create the church. They did it already. And they offered their life, their blood. They offered everything for the church in a very strong way, which you cannot do it now. I mean, we cannot create a heritage now.
No, that's right. That's right.
The time is past. The time now is to preserve the past, to preserve the heritage. You know, it's like it's a spring. We drink from it. Don't let the spring
dry up.
No, preserve the spring, clean it, keep it well, because you will drink from it.
Yeah.
You know? But if you leave it like that and say, "Oh, no, I can have a new source of water. I can, for example, find water from the sea, and I can take the salt out, make a new water. I can have a mineral water." No, you have a source of water, very natural, and it has roots. It has roots. Why you don't drink from the spring of the fathers of the church? Why you don't preserve it? And I think it will be something very serious, because if we don't preserve it, I think God will judge us.
Because I tell you, Abuna, the values of the heritage, the values which are inside the heritage, they are the values of the early centuries, of the 1st and 2nd centuries. Nowadays, we haven't these same values. If you go into the world and you look around you, you don't find these same values. For example, the idea of what is sin and what is virtue changes.
Yes.
Nowadays, people will tell you, "Oh, this is not a sin." But the fathers told us this is a sin.
Yes.
So, the idea that the heritage contains, the heritage which is things like books and language and songs and music and buildings, all of these things, they contain spiritual values inside them, which, if the world changes, we don't change them.
Yes, they are there.
They are fixed.
They are fixed, exactly.
So, the importance of preserving the heritage, especially the role of the monks in this job, in this task, is important because if we allow the heritage to go away, when we try to recover it, we will not have the same values, we will not have the same understanding.
We'll have different understanding and different meaning. We will give different meaning.
And we will create something which is not recognizable as orthodoxy, as our...
Yes. And it will be something artificial, because we are not deep enough.
Not organic,
Yes,
it didn't grow with the church. Yes,
because the early heritage, it's grew up with the, as I said, with the nature of the church. With the nature of the church.
And the identity of all the historical battles, the battles in the doctrine, the heresies and the orthodoxy. You mentioned Athanasius, he's the most famous one. So he did already fight these battles for us.
Yes.
And he won all of these battles for orthodoxy. So if we try to fight today, we haven't the same power of understanding, because our minds are changing by the values of the world. So to know who we are, our identity as Orthodox, doesn't come from now.
No,
It comes from
the
the
past.
battles which already fought in the past.
Yes.
So if we have a library of the works of Athanasius in his original languages, Coptic and Greek, if we preserve these, we are preserving the spring, which you said. We are preserving the source.
Yes. Yes.
So, okay, we translate it. We translate it to the languages which the people can understand. But somebody must preserve the original,
Yeah.
the heritage.